Dear students, today in this video I am going to discuss about globalization. First of all, meaning of globalization. Globalization is the process of increasing a country's economic integration with the rest of the world. That means it is a process by which a country increases its economic relations with the rest of the world. It relates itself with the rest of the countries of the world for trade. This trade may be in goods and services, for the movement of physical and financial capital due to increase in exchange of technology as well as increasing investments between borders. Talking about process of globalization, first point is import export licensing policy was made simpler and easy. Due to this, import and export could be increased. Second point is India became member of WTO in 1995. So WTO, when it was started, since its inception itself, India was a member of this organization. That means now India had to accept the rules framed by WTO of free world trade. Next point is value of our currency is determined by trade. So our Indian currency was now allowed to be converted into other currencies at market rate instead of the official rates. Next point is there was a sector-wise and systematic increase in FDI in India. That means the foreign direct investment was allowed in a systematic manner and in various sectors to increase their investment in India. Like initially, the consumer goods sector was opened up for investment by foreign companies, and then service sector, and later on the financial sector. Next point is investors and producers in India were allowed to increase financial collaborations with their foreign counterparts. Many of the foreign companies were allowed to come and do business by collaborating with Indian companies. And after globalization, now Indian companies were allowed to increase this financial collaborations with their foreign parts. Next point is undue protection for Indian investors against foreign competition was lifted. Actually, in 1991, IMF had already declared several nations as highly indebted to it, and also imposed upon them to globalize and upgrade the technologies as well as growth of their nations. As we have seen that this was a precondition before sanctioning further loans to these nations, and India was also among one of those, and therefore India had to relax its policies of granting protection to domestic investors and industries from foreign competition. So initially our government, which was very much in favor, or which was granting very much protection to the domestic industries, now it had to become indifferent in policy matters between domestic and foreign investors as well as producers. Last point is social and cultural ties with other nations were also encouraged. Due to this, due to the process of globalization, there was an exchange of culture also between two countries, and therefore also relaxation was made by many nations in granting visas. Thank you, students.